Hello folks and welcome. On today's video I want to do the top 10 most convincing UFO sightings. So here they are. Number 10. Kenneth Arnold in 1947. In many ways this sighting is the one that started them all. It certainly was not the first sighting of something odd in the sky, but this particular sighting by private pilot Kenneth Arnold helped define the public's view on the UFO phenomenon. Arnold helped to coin the phrase flying saucer when he observed that the object he saw streaking across the sky moved like saucers skipping across the water. The press ran with it and became the term of what we know today. Number 9. Roswell in 1947. 1947 was a watershed year for the UFO phenomenon. What Kenneth Arnold started in June of 1947 was eclipsed by events that unfolded during the first month of July. A UFO reportedly crashed near a ranch in Roswell, New Mexico. At first, the US Army Air Force confirmed that a UFO had crashed, and newspapers quickly spread the amazing news. The military then changed their story, claiming that it was actually debris from a weather balloon that fell that day in Roswell. Roswell is considered by most to be the single most well-known UFO incident in history. Number 8. Barney and Betty Hill in 1961. Returning from a trip to Canada, Barney and Betty Hill were travelling through New Hampshire where they spotted a strange light in the sky not far from the town of Woodstock. They decided to stop their car to get a better look at it. What happened next was not clear to the Hills at the time, but further investigation indicated that they may have been abducted by a UFO and were the subject of various tests performed by the occupants of the strange craft. Under hypnosis, both of them related a similar take of being abducted aboard the UFO and examined by typical grey aliens that have been reported by other alleged abductees. Number 7. The Kecksburg Incident, Pennsylvania in 1965. This incident holds a prominent place among the most talked about UFO incidents in history, generating almost as much interest among enthusiasts as the Roswell incident. On December 5th, 1965, a fireball or meteor-like object smashed into the ground in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. After state police were called to the scene to investigate, the military was soon alerted and responded to Kecksburg to take control of the situation. While the Air Force dismissed the whole thing as a meteor, other witnesses who reportedly arrived at the scene of the impact before police reported seeing an acorn-shaped object about 12 feet in height. There were also reports that a flat-base truck was seen leaving the area with an object on board that was covered with a tarp. Many believed that object was a UFO that was taken away by the military. Number 6. Iranian UFO chase in 1976. After receiving reports of multiple strange craft above the Tehran, the Iranian Air Force launched a US-made F-4 fighter jet to investigate. As the pilot steered his aircraft in the direction of the UFO, he began to experience numerous problems with the aircraft's electronics and communication systems. The pilot changed course and all of the aircraft's systems returned to normal. At this time, a second F-4 was launched to aid in the investigation. After the second F-4 was able to maneuver its way close to the UFO, the pilot could make out some detail of the craft, which reportedly featured multicolored flashing lights. When the smaller UFO was released from the craft, the pilot became concerned for his safety and armed his weapon system in preparation of launching an air-to-air missile at the UFO. The F-4's weapon and communication system mysteriously failed at that point and the pilot was forced to head back to base. Number 5. Rendlesham Forest UFO landing in 1980. After being buzzed by strange craft for a number of nights during December 1980, the joint operated US and UK military air base at Bentwaters and Woodbridge in the UK were on alert. On December 27th, the strange craft came in for an encounter that was definitely more up close and personal. Military personnel were dispatched to the Rendlesham Forest after hearing reports of strange lights in the area. The security patrols were shocked to find a saucer-shaped craft hovering a short distance off the ground with typical grey aliens outside the craft who appeared to be working on it. Those brave enough to approach the craft reportedly experienced strange effects such as time displacement, reality bending phenomenon, and bizarre atmospheric anomalies. Number 4. Hudson Valley, New York sightings in 1981. What made the Hudson Valley sightings remarkable was the sheer number of people who came forward claiming that they had seen UFOs during that time. Instead of the more typical flying saucer sightings, the Hudson Valley sightings showcased a relative newcomer to the UFO scene at the time, the triangle-shaped UFO. Reports indicate that these craft operated while making no sound whatsoever. Some of the flying triangles were reported so large that they were compared to a floating city, and one incident even promoted dozens of motorists to pull off the side of the road to gaze in astonishment at the massive craft. Number 3. Japan Airlines Flight 1628 in 1986. To dismiss this incident as a natural phenomenon or weather-related event, one would have to believe that Captain Kinjon Terashi and his flight crew had lost their minds. On a flight originating to Paris and bound for Tokyo, the crew of the Boeing 747 cargo carrier were accompanied by more than one UFO as it transited the skies over Alaska. For almost an hour, the UFOs flew alongside the 747 and darted about as if gravity had no effect on them whatsoever. The crew contacted air traffic controls, who were not able to confirm the presence of the objects on the radar. Captain Terashi is about as qualified and credible as a witness could be, having served as a fighter pilot and logged more than 10,000 hours in flight. Number 2. Belgian Triangles, 1989. It became obvious very quickly that triangle-shaped UFOs were not exclusive to the United States. Similar to the Hudson Valley sightings, the sightings in Belgium featured multiple reports of triangle-shaped craft operating silently in the skies. Reports were even made by police, and at least one sighting prompted the military to launch 2 US-made F-16 fighter jets in an attempt to intercept the craft. The objects were also confirmed by radar operators and were captured and filmed by some alert residents during April of 1990. Number 1. The Phoenix Lights in 1997. Something happened in the skies over Phoenix, Arizona on the night of March 13, 1997. Although there remains much disagreement about what actually was, what appeared to be an enormous craft was seen silently gliding over the area and was observed by hundreds of witnesses. Estimates suggest that massive craft may have been a mile in length. Numerous videos and photos of the strange lights surfaced, but the craft itself was extremely difficult to see. Although some witnesses reported that it blocked out all of the stars in the sky as it passed above them, one group of witnesses even described rows of windows on the craft with the silhouettes of occupants visible inside. The military explained the event by stating that the lights were simply flares that were dropped by warplanes conducting exercises in the area, a claim dismissed by the majority of those who actually witnessed it. Well, there you go guys, this is this week's video. Top 10 most convincing UFO sightings. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it in the comment section below. And as always, please share this video on the likes of Facebook and Twitter. And if you're new, please subscribe. And until next time, stay fresh and funky, my friend.